How's it going, everyone? Mitchen Chicken here. Today, I'm bringing you a spicy new way to play Regis in the Surging Sparks format. I think Pikachu EX was a really good addition to this deck from the new set. So we're going to be going over the deck list that I've cooked up for today, tell you about the card counts, why I've chosen to play all these different things, and then we'll have a couple games that you can watch Pikachu just absolutely pop off to see kind of how this deck works. So let's get into it. Starting off with Regigigas. If you're newer, you may not actually know what this card does because it hasn't been super good recently since post-rotation. But Ancient Wisdom, once during your turn, if you have Regirock, Regice, Registeel, Regieleki, and Regidrago in play, and of course you need Gigas because it's Gigas' ability, you can attach up to 3 energy cards from your discard pile to one of your Pokemon. So normally in conventional Pokemon, because that's 6 Pokemon in play, it means you can only have the Regis on board, and that's how this deck used to be played. But because of the new Area Zero Stadium, it actually allows us with a Terra Pokemon to have more space on our bench, so we can have the Terra Pokemon as well as a couple other Pokemon in play. And Regigigas doesn't have any restrictions; it can use Ancient Wisdom to accelerate energies to those Pokemon as well. So we can actually play, in theory, any attacker you want. You can change this deck up too if you want to play something else in here, like Iron Hands, like Roaring Moon, other really strong attackers. Really anything you want. But this is what I've found to be pretty consistent and mainly just focusing around Pikachu. So to support the Regigigas ability, we have just 2 of every Regi. I think that's pretty consistent. You can try and get away if you want to make space with one of the ones that don't really attack very often, like Ice and Steel. But I just find 2 a little safe, because if you ever prize one of the one-ofs, then it's really annoying. Like, you have to find Heavy Ball before you get to play the game at all. I think 2 is just a little bit simpler. Then, for our Terra Pokemon, we've got 2 Pikachu EX. That's the main guy. Pikachu is really good for this deck because it simultaneously gives it a really good basic Terra Pokemon to put on the bench that's protected because of Resolute Heart ability that doesn't let Pikachu get O-Code. If it would have just lived on 10 HP. So it's much harder to kill the Pikachu, and that means you can just use any other Pokemon you want to attack, and it's hard for your opponent to answer your Terra Pokemon if they want to just gust it up and kill it because it's protected. But Pikachu is also a really good attacker, and I think, although this deck might not be the most consistent deck in the world, when you do set up, I think this deck is the most consistent deck at stringing back-to-back Topaz Bolts with Pikachu EX. So if that's something you're interested in, this is definitely the deck for you. So we got 2 of those guys in there because it's our main Terra Pokemon we're looking to get down. And then I've also just got 1 Cornerstone as an additional Terra Pokemon to put in play. Same idea with Cornerstone stance being good to protect the Pokemon if we just want it to sit on our bench and it's something that our opponent's deck can't gust up and kill very easily. Demolish also lets us have an out to a couple annoying things if we ever need to go through effects of attack. Things that wall basics like Terrapagos with Basic Energy deck or Noivern, things like that. It's just versatile. It can be niche. You don't have to play it, but I like the option of it. And I also like the option of being able to just go up and demolish against decks that don't have a good answer to Cornerstone because, let's just say Charizard, for example, if they happen to not be playing Dusknoir, right? There are cases that Cornerstone walls certain decks very well. Or you can just gatekeep the Dusknoirs from coming into play. Cornerstone can kind of just sweep the game. So it gives you just more options, basically. And that's what we like with this deck. Just charge up any broken attacker. Then, a couple support Pokemon, although Ninja is not necessarily just a support Pokemon. We can attack with this guy too. Concealed cards, because we have that extra bench space, we can use this as a support Pokemon to get energy in the discard and draw. But we can also use Moonlight Shuriken, which is a really good spread damage attacker, which is very, very strong if we can set it up early and our opponent's using like an evolving deck that they haven't fully evolved up yet. And finally, Squawkabilly. One of those guys, just use Squawk and Seize turn 1. Once again, we can, make our bench more than just our Regis, so we have a little bit of space to work with. And then it's usually the first Pokemon that ever gets bumped by Area Zero going away. I actually find I never get punished with Squawk, or like very rarely. It's very often that your opponent bumps the stadium before they ever get to Gust kill Squawk. And so you just get rid of it, and then it wasn't even a liability, and just like nice draw power. So those are the Pokemon. Then, to get that all rolling, for Professor's Research, we just want to be dumping energies in the discard, drawing a lot of cards, because we do need a lot of cards. We need a minimum of 6 different Pokemon on the bench, and then if we want to be using our tricks, we also need a Stadium in play and a Terra Pokemon, and then any other Pokemon we want to attack with. It is a lot of infrastructure to maintain, and especially in the early game before we benched anything, so we really need to just rip through our deck with Research, 3 boss, just to gust things. You don't need this many boss, to be honest. Sometimes the deck can just kind of kill whatever's in front of it, but I like the option of having boss to play a less linear game and gust around different things. using our best attackers to kill the best Pokemon for us on our opponent's field. And you need a few of them because it's pretty often they research 1 or 2 of them away. And then finally, draw supporters, a couple Iono. It gives us an option to draw cards if we don't want to dump our hand, and also just disrupt our opponent, so we're less linear of a deck. Then for Ball Search, for Nest Ball, of course, the whole deck is basics. We would play probably more of these if we could. But we can't because we're capped at 4, so for some extra Ball Search, we've also got 3 Ultra Ball. This is pretty good because it allows us to discard extra energy, thin our hand to draw with Dragon's Horde for Regidrago ability, which is pretty good. Then 3 Earthen Vessel to find all our basic energy, because you can see we play very few and quite a lot of different basic energy, so we want to make sure we can find the ones we want to set up the attackers we need. Then 3 Switch Cart. These are just good because the Regis can still be kind of hard to maneuver. They all have very heavy retreat costs, so if you start something like Regigigas and you want to attack with Pikachu, you're not going to be able to do that in 1 turn. You're going to need an Ancient Wisdom to one of them, and then the next turn Ancient Wisdom to the other, and retreat and attack. So cards just allow us for some maneuverability. 2 Super Rod to recover our guys back into the deck. You just try and hold these until you have like 3 Pokemon they actually need in the discard, and then you Super Rod back. I've noticed some Regi decks do play a decent bit more recovery than I do, but in quite a amount of games I've done testing working on this list, I found 2 Rod and then the 1 Night Stretcher actually completely fine. You really don't need more, in my opinion, and experience. So I think this is fine. 2 Rods just to recover a few Regis a couple times throughout the game, and then the 1 Night Stretcher also gives us easy access to the discard. Like, I use Moonlight Shuriken, my opponent kills it, I want to just Moonlight Shuriken again, we can just get it back into the hand, which is really easy. A Heavy Ball is our final item because we play quite a number of different basics, but decent amount of 1 to 2 ofs. And we just need to get Regis out of the discard. Sometimes you prize 1 or 2 or 5 of them, who knows. I've had games where you prize a lot of Pokemon, and it's very thin counts, so you want to make sure you have access to all of them, because if you ever can't have any one of your given Regis on the board, then you can't really play the game. For Area 0 as our stadium, we need a lot of these because the deck is kind of destructive with the researches, and you need them in play every turn to do anything other than just attacking with your usual Regis. If you want to be using like Pikachu, you need the bench space. And so you need to be finding Area 0 consistently and putting in play, widening your board, etc. And finally, the deck is just a bunch of different energies. We got 2 basic fighting, 2 basic water, 2 basic grass, 2 basic lightning, 1 basic fire, 1 basic metal, 2 gift, and legacy energy. I picked the 1-ofs just because you need deck space. Because they're not super commonly used, the only time fire is used is as a 1-off on Drago, and then Pikachu as metal, because grass and lightning overlap with some of the other Regi attackers at least, so we have 1 metal, because you also still have legacy energy to always color fix different things. You could always slip a luminous in here as well. I found I didn't really need the color fixing. It's generally just getting your Pokemon in play is the biggest struggle, so I think the energy is fine, but if you did want to, you could play a luminous in here or something like that. I also like give the option of gift energy because Pikachu doesn't actually discard all energy, it discards 3, and then it can also be good to leave on any other attacker. It avoids things like Ionos. If your hand is big, your opponent Ionos you, and then you still draw a big hand off gift. If you don't have a lot of cards in hand and your opponent knocks out the active, then you get to draw a bunch of cards with gift. It's just pretty good. Really nice energy that we don't mind just getting to throw back on our Pokemon, because they all usually have a colorless option as well, other than Pikachu. But yeah, so that's the deck. I think it's pretty good. It can attack with Pikachu very consistently, just back-to-back-to-back turns, because powering it up is so easy once you have your Regis in play. I will admit, it is not always the most consistent deck, but the power level of it is so high that sometimes you can actually not attack till like turn 3, turn 4, be like 2-3 prizes behind your opponent before you even attack, and you can still win the game because your prize trade is so strong. Like, you have weakness box as a deck basically for different things. You just 1 prizer, Oko, different 2 prizers because of weakness. You have Pikachu that's very hard to answer in 1 turn, so Pikachu can sometimes take like 4 prizes on a single 2 prizer. So a lot of cool options. It's pretty cool. Hopefully you try it out. And now I'm going to show you guys some gameplay in which the deck does pop off and set up Pikachu and just string it as an attacker. It's really fun, so enjoy the games. Okay, solid starting hand. I don't know if either of these guys are like great starters, but yeah, it's fine. Raikou. This could be a number of things. Probably Miraidon though. Some energies. Okay, let's Ultra Ball away these. Get them in the discard. Do I have Squawk in deck? I do not. That card is prized every game I play with this deck. Like, this is getting a little crazy. I guess I'll grab Ninja. We have research for next turn, so actually it's like not the end of the world. We don't really need to Squawk. Concealed cards, see what we can get here. Not really anything special. Drop the steal and pass. But our next turn hand's looking pretty good. We can go Vessel away that extra area 0. Play the area 0, research, and just, yeah, we're flying from there, hopefully. Do need a lot of Regis still, but yeah, we'll see what we get. We'll see what we're playing against as well. Like I said, probably Miraidon. Guess this should show us here. Yeah, it's the Dawn. This matchup should be pretty good. Regirock obviously as a one prizer just kind of farms them, but also Pikachu's actually pretty good too. Because I don't think they have a way around the ability, so like we can just blow up. Oh, there's the Area 0 for us too. Yeah, they're also probably not disrupting our board state. This matchup should be pretty good. We can just blow something up, and then they can't kill our Pikachu, and then we just blow something up again. And yeah, it's pretty good. Like, they do take 2 prizes over 2 turns, but off the first turn, they don't kill anything, and they don't disrupt the board state by taking a piece off the board. So that's, like, the advantage of attacking with Pika. But otherwise, yeah, Regirock's just kind of nuts, too. They do have Secret Box, Magnemite. Probably, like, a Pikachu version, I would assume. No Grass or Metal down. I've seen Magneton just being used in general. With Miraidon, it's kind of neat. Lets you enable Raichu again, which is cool. Does give over a prize card, though. Which is, like, okay. It can be, like, pretty meaningless if you keep your board full of 2 prizers and you just use the 1 Magneton. It really doesn't matter. And it's just, like, a nice energy accelerant in the later game for the deck, which is pretty good. How are the generators looking? Let's see if we get knocked out here turn 1, which I would prefer if they didn't. Just 1, and they actually go on the hands. That's interesting. I guess Greninja the hands target. They could also zap those, bump the damage. I didn't think about that, actually. Yeah, so hands is pretty good into this. Maybe it's a bit more of a fair, even matchup. Just kind of depends how fast we set up our attackers. And it looks like they're really going for it. They're popping Forest. Yeah, another generator. Makes sense. Oh, there's 2. Getting a little scary. They do attach the Raikou for turn. Oh, they can just arm press us still. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. Fair enough. It's pretty good. And they have a charm. Okay. I mean, that doesn't actually really change numbers, to be honest, but yeah, sure. You can do that. See, I would like to push Ninja because for a treat, but it's just asking to be amped. But I think if I want to do anything here, it has to be Ninja to just attach it. Otherwise, we could be in trouble regardless. They can always just Zapdos and amp the steal. So, let's Vessel away Area 0. Doesn't really matter. Grab Fighting out. I have Legacy down, so that'll be enough to attack with Regirock. And we can grab Lightning. Actually, Grass. And then I'll just research. Wow, we actually didn't see another energy off that research? That's a little crazy. Okay. Not bad, I guess. Should have concealed. Grab Dragoff, Heavy Ball. Pikachu, Gigas, and just have to pass. Yeah, oh, it's unfortunate. We're gonna get amped here. I don't like that. Really don't like that. Have I research for next turn? It's still winnable, theoretically, even if they go down to 3 prizes before we've attacked. As long as we don't whiff next turn, it is still winnable. That's a thing with this deck for sure. It can start kind of shaky, but if you can stabilize, like, the prize trading is just really good. Like, being able to Greninja or Pikachu or use, like, weakness on these really strong one-prize attackers every turn is really powerful for sure. So we'll see what they do. I have to imagine we're going to get amped regardless. Yeah, there's a Pikachu in their deck. I don't know if they actually attack with it. Like, they might just be using it as a Terra Pokemon for bench space. I don't think it really changes this matchup, to be honest, so we don't really care. They probably shouldn't attack with it regardless. Oh, they actually don't have the energy. Okay. They're really thinning to draw with Mew. It's Miraidon, so I would imagine off 3 cards they're seeing an energy, but they might not. They might not. We have a chance to just get arm pressed instead of MP very much. It's a little bit better. Oh, they got Magneton. Do they have energy discard? They do. So they can pop that if they really whiff. Worst case scenario. But they give us a prize card, so yeah, it's like something. I would have slammed that energy if I was them. Oh, I think we're popping a Magneton for 1. Let's go anywhere. Anyway, like, no, okay. So they can put one on hands and start setting up their backup attacker. Nest Ball. Maybe they play a second Mew. Could draw more cards with that guy as well. Fez, yeah, just for the next turn. So let's see what they do. Are they content taking the one prize off Arm Press? Oh, they have DTE. Okay, they're just slow rolling me. I see how it is. I see. I see. Okay. So we're going to push Pika here. And hope Research finds us our other 3 Regis. We do have the energy down already for it. So it's not, like, unrealistic. I think rotting back those guys is good too. Do need a Lecky as well. So we'll do that. And we'll just Research. Yeah, we got it. Okay, cool. So we can go... I'm trying to just see if I can weave in a concealed cards here. I don't know if I need to. There's not really a good vessel target is the main thing. I think it's fine. We could just get our other guys out. So we need Lecky and Rock off these Nest Balls because we have Ice in hand. Grab Rock. So we could attack with either Pikachu or Rock here, but I like going Pikachu, and then I can attack again. I can just set it up again, whereas Regirock has to be reset. They don't have an attacker going, and then even if they punch Pikachu, then we can just retreat it and force the boss for them to take more prizes. So yeah, I like that. We just double checking one more time. Yeah, this counts as lightning on the Legacy, so we'll go Ancient Wisdom. And we'll go Grass, Legacy, Metal Energy on our Pikachu. And we'll Topaz Bolt for the Oko on the hands. And, yeah, it's pretty good. They do have Magneton, so they can make an attacker. But, I doubt there's a way for them to actually bypass the ability. So, they're probably just going to have to pop Resolute Heart. And then from there, we can, retreat it. And then use Regirock. Or, like, a different Pikachu, even. I do play 2. We can find that guy. And that he can still Oko something like a Mew as well. It's not weak to lightning. Or, well, not weak to fighting, I should say. Bundle. Okay. They got a bundle. Could force us into a different guy. As long as they can't amp our Pikachu, which seems like pretty unlikely, then I think we should still just win this prize trade. That's why, like I said, even though we whiffed, okay, so they do set up an attacker. It's another generator. So it is theoretically possible for them to amp our Pikachu after they punch it. And they only need 3 prize cards. So that's like the main thing we have to watch out for. But otherwise, our prize trade's pretty good. Because we just go 2-2-2. So as long as they can't win next turn with hands. They could do by popping Magneton. Oh, they actually bundle. Okay, that's cool. Who do I want to go into? Probably Gigas, because I have another one in hand. So I think that just makes sense. And they're going to push their Raikou. Nest Ball. They do get a hand, so that guy has to die. I'm bossing that guy immediately. I was thinking about Ionoing them, but yeah, that guy has to go. We cannot have them using Iron Hands. That's like the one way they win this game, is they get to amp again. I would imagine they don't play Pokemon Recovery. Like, if they just have it like that and we get sacked, like, tough. They recover hands, pop Magneton, attach, you know, all that. Boss. Yeah, good for you. Yeah, I think that's about sums up what I can do here. I don't really have anything I can do against this, so it's just, hopefully they don't have it. Anything else I want to do here? Once again, could Vessel. Don't really need to, though. I could also... Actually, I could attach in the crazy chance they have Cologne. I don't think I want to play around Cologne. I think it's just dumb. Yeah, it's pretty unlikely. Let's just boss the hands and hope they don't have anything crazy. And we can go Ancient Wisdom. Set up our Pika with those same energy. You know what? I'll just bench Ninja in case we get like Iono or something. Gift Vessel away our own Iono. It won't really matter. Just to draw more cards, maybe we need to boss next turn because they push a 1-prizer. We can start drawing. That seems fine. Concealed away a lightning energy. There's another Pika. I don't mind benching it, I guess. Doesn't really matter. We can just get it out of the hand. And yeah, we'll Topaz Bolt. Another Oko. And balls in our opponent's court. If they can magically get another hands set up and Gust, good for them, I guess. They got it. But I think that's pretty unlikely, because they're down double Iron Hands. Miraidon usually doesn't play Recovery that I know of. Night Stretcher seems like a pretty logical card in the deck, though, so maybe they do. I'm not exactly a Miraidon enthusiast, so not too sure what decks are looking like these days. They do have a massive hand, so if they play the cards, they probably have it, to be honest. They are discarding a boss. Ooh, going for the Raichu. But Resolute Heart, they can't Oko it. Doesn't matter. They are gonna boss. What are we bossing? Bossing a Gigas. I think that's just a stall tactic, to be honest. Because that guy's got the heaviest retreat. I think they're just looking for... Yeah, and I don't know. I don't know what they're looking for here. Like, just buying time. My guess is they also retreat into a 1-prizer, like Zapdos. But let's see. Miraidon. Okay, so they are actually just going to try and stop us from being able to set up a guy. Because I guess I have my other Gigas down, but they don't realize I have Night Stretcher in hand. So if we don't get Iono... Actually, no, they bossed, yeah, so should just be it. Yep, there's the Photon Blaster. We have Night Stretcher to put our Gigas back in hand. Yeah, fair enough on them trying to gust the Gigas, because we have 2 of those guys down now, but got the recovery, and we can just Topaz Bolt again! Back to back to back Topaz Bolt. I love it. I think this deck is the best deck at consistently being able to attack with Pikachus. Like, if you want to string them, there's just no comparison. Maybe that, like, Blissey deck, but I think that's honestly more infrastructure than Regis. Yeah. Topaz Bolt 3 turns in a row. Pretty good. Alright, jumping into another game here. We're going second. Starting the Gigas, but we do have a cart in hand, so it's like not the worst. Playing against Gholdengo. Okay. This could be an interesting one. First thought that comes to mind, Pikachu's pretty good attacker. I guess we don't know if they actually play Greninja Cologne option stuff or not. I'm gonna guess that they don't. So that's a big factor here. Since Gholdengo's got that new ace spec, they're kind of playing a bunch of random energy and not playing a lot of waters. So they may not have Cologne, and if they don't, Pikachu is gonna be pretty good. Okay, our Squawk is in deck. I do think I want to Squawk. Could also go for Ninja. Okay, let's just get Ninja out for now, because I have an Ultra Ball. And we can get sealed and then play that Ultra Ball after. So we'll go Vessel. Greninja would be really good here, but attacking with this deck turn 1 is pretty hard. Especially with Greninja. We need so many Pokemon down. It's just kind of unrealistic, but who knows? We'll get a water. Maybe. Maybe. It's possible. So we'll go Concealed Cards the water. And we draw into a Research. Another cart. Okay. I think... Okay, let's go cart into Greninja. We'll go Ultra Ball away these 2. Grab... We'll grab the Squawk and then we can Research. And then we can Squawk after. Drop Area 0 down. Research. See what we can find. Cornerstone's also not bad. A lot of Regis here, actually. Wow. So Steel. We could go for the Cornerstone. Because it's very hard for this deck to deal with it. I think that's not bad either. Lucky Ice. The problem with this is we have 3 Pokemon that are not Regis now, which means we cannot bench Pikachu. So, little sketchy if we need to use the Peak. Okay, the Squawk is pretty lackluster, so I think that's gonna end all our drawing there. We get kind of close. We just needed Rock Drago. Although, actually, I needed another energy, too, and another water. So, okay, turn 1, but we don't get to quite pop off and just Shuriken double gimme. I think we're just gonna pass. See what our opponent does and play from there. Yeah, we could push Cornerstone, and I'm not really sure what option they have to answer that, to be honest. It's pretty good. That's why I still like playing the Cornerpon in this deck. It just gives you a little bit of flexibility with the Terra Pokemon, and there's still things that like you can just wall, or like use Demolish to get through, things like Noivern, Terrapagos, all that kind of stuff that would just like completely wall your full basic deck out of the game. So, yeah, it's pretty good here, I think. But we'll see. If our opponent knocks out Greninja, it's obviously not great because we still have a lot of energy in deck and we'd like to use concealed cards. But at the same time, it does open up a spot that could be for Pikachu, potentially. So we're just going to have to see. They get their own Greninja. I am curious to see some of their energies hit the discard. Okay, just a metal. Attach return. There's the search. Okay, yeah. So Energy Search Pro. Obviously, they're gonna have a bunch of energy here. They only really need 3 to knock out Greninja, and then we can actually Iono a bunch back into the deck, which is nice. So they only get like half the value out of it, because they grabbed I think 8, concealed 1, make it rain 3. Just put 4 of them back into their deck with Iono. So not bad. Yeah, so I'm wondering if they have Cologne here, because Cologne is such a good card against both my Terra Pokemon. It lets them go through Cornerpon, lets them Oko Pika. That's going to be a big factor here. That and being able to get the energies and Pokemon we need to play the game. So, let's go for a Vessel. I think it's a boss. I'm just going to get a Fighting Energy to put on Cornerstone in case I whiff. And then we'll Iono. I could Rod. Actually, let's Rod first. Yeah, I think that makes sense. Rod these guys back. And then we'll Iono. See if we can get our last 2 Regis out and start attacking. Close. We got Lecky, which is not one we needed. And then we have a Nest Ball for one of them. So we could Nest Ball for Ninja. I kind of don't hate that. I think I would like the draw power. I mean, we'd have to get really lucky to conceal into the exact 2 Regis we need, but it's possible. Yeah, not quite, but that's fine. And I think I'll just pass with that guy in the active, because there's not really a great way for them to answer Cornerstone. With Pokestop, I just have to bench bump one Pokemon, get that Squawk off my bench. I am very happy with that. Now I can happily bench a Pikachu, gets a liability off my board. Fine with me. And we have a stadium in hand that we can just replay and get our big bench back. That Pokestop is pretty bad for them too. So yeah, let's see if they can cook up an answer to our Cornerstone or not. And one good thing is, like, even if they play Cologne, well, they can Cologne the Ogerpon, but then they can't Cologne the Pikachu. Like, there's a lot of uses they need it for, right? They kind of want to Cologne every one of my 2-prize Pokemon. Since they got rid of that Squawk now, it's a easy couple prizes gone for them as well. Another Dengo, so they got all their guys up. Ninja's not really a great attacker anymore, now that everything's evolved. But, yeah, Pikachu can put some damage in. Just take 4 prizes before it goes down. And, I don't know if they have anything for us yet. There's a Cypher Maniac. So, they could get Cologne, most likely, if they have it. And if they do, then we probably just try and attack with Pikachu on this next turn. We do need Metal or like a Legacy Energy down. That's the one energy we're short. Ooh, Monkey Dory. That's interesting. I didn't realize Gholdengos were playing this. But yeah, it's just going to be a pass. They cannot answer our Cornerstone right now. So we are going to Area 0, open up the bench again. I'll bench Pikachu. And just research. And we've got all the guys we need, which is pretty good. So we can go Vessel away, Metal Energy. Grab those last two that are in deck. And I'll Concealed away the Fire. It doesn't hurt to draw into the last Regi we need. Just preserve the Nest Balls. We don't, so I'll have to Nest Ball for the Rock. Drago, Nest Ball for Regirock. And I do think my price rating is pretty good here. So to be honest, like the Cornerstone bought us time, but I don't really want to sit behind it forever. I think I'm cool to just start attacking with Pikachu since we have it ready to go. So we're going to go Ancient Wisdom. And we'll set this guy up. Lightning, Grass, and Metal. We can retreat the Cornerstone into the Pika. And I'm just wondering, do I need a Rod? We're down Lecky and another Pikachu. I think we can wait, because we do have a Cornerstone, so we won't lose our bench just from losing our Terra Pokemon. And I think it's pretty unlikely that this guy goes down this turn. So go for Topaz Bolt. Knock out the Dengo. And let's see if they can respond. So the Monkey is something that could at least let them bypass the ability. But the big thing is that we don't want to leave any damage on board, because I don't think they have any way of putting damage on their own board. So that was another reason not to attack with the Cornerstone. If we did demolish, then they can go for the Adrenabrain and break our Pikachu's Resolute Heart ability. But now, there's really not much they can do. As long as we don't ever give them Adrenabrain, which Oko things, there's no damage for them to move back onto us. They decide to just Gust my Gigas. I'm not sure if they actually trying to knock it out, or if this is just a stall tactic. I think I am down... yeah, all my carts. So it might be hard to move this guy, considering Pikachu loses its energy. I don't really have an attacker that I can set up. This is the time that's really nice if, like, your extra bench spot is a second Gigas. That can be really fun, too. So you can use 2 Ancient Wisdoms. And we'll see if maybe we can maneuver into that. If they bump the Stadium, get rid of Cornerstone and Greninja, and maybe we can fit 2 Gigas. But no, they are just going to knock out my Gigas, it looks like. So 3 energy, make it rain. Luckily, that is the exact Regi I had in hand, so I'm perfectly happy with that. And I'm just going to push my Pikachu up. And we'll drop our Gigas down. Let's get that guy on the bench. We can potentially Rod now. I think that's good. We got 3 Pokemon to Rod back. Just make it so that we have 2 of all our guys to kill something, because we only need 1 more turn after this to win the game. Our deck is getting a little low. I have to be careful about that. I think I actually want to attach an energy to this Gigas, potentially, just to retreat, if they ever stick it. Nah, it's probably fine. I don't know if I want to use Concealed Cards, though. I don't want to get too low in the deck. 3 energies. How many boss? I'm down 2 boss. We might want that Dig to try and find it for next turn in case they try and stall. I think we can use 1 Concealed Cards. We still have 11 cards in deck. It's pretty unlikely we get decked out. Discard the Fighting. Oh, I still should have Legacy in deck as well, unless I prized it, which I didn't even bother checking. That's kind of the main thing you need to check with this deck. It's just like your Regis, do you have one of them prized, and then energy counts, because they're pretty thin, but you do have a lot of energies, a lot of different attackers that you can use. So yeah, we just use Topaz Bolt for the knockout. I could have Iono'd, but honestly, I'm just fine sitting on this hand. I don't think I care too much about what they have in hand. I would rather just maintain some guys in my hand, so if they Gust kill a Regi or something like that again, I can just rebench it and, you know, Pikachu for game. So let's see what they got. They did have another Dengo set up. They had all 3 of those guys ready to go. Metal Energy down. But, yeah, do they have any way of avoiding Resolute Heart? Or is it just going to be hit for 190? Yes, I'm not sure about this Monkey in the deck. I think it's an interesting idea. 260 can be, depending on the deck, sometimes an awkward number. It might fix numbers for things like Drago. They are just going for my Gigas again. Okay, interesting. I wonder if they're stalling it this time, or it's still just going to be an attack. Maybe, you know, sometimes against Regis to try and... Okay, there's the Iono to 2 cards, so fair enough. Makes things harder. My Gigas is in deck. Draw Research. Okay, I think that almost guarantees it because our hand was really big, very small deck, and the Gigas was still in deck from the Rod, so if we Research, we should, I think, just draw into it for sure. I guess we'll find out in a second, because I am just going to Research once it comes back to our turn. They got the Retrieval, so they're going to kill our Gigas. Yeah, sometimes against Regis, especially with Pikachu, which doesn't keep energy, the play can just be pick a Regi and target it down, right? So I guess they just decided on Gigas. It doesn't really matter which one sometimes. So that was the line they tried to take, go around it to stick us for some turns, I guess. But yeah, we were able to bounce back pretty easily. Draw into a Drago. We'll just Research. Hopefully this is fine. I should draw into Gigas. There it is. Get down Gigas, and we're just going to Ancient Wisdom into a 3rd Topaz Bolt. Once again, going back to back to back Topaz Bolt 3 turns in a row with this deck. It's pretty crazy. Yeah, Topaz Bolt for game, taking those last 2 prizes. So that's the Regis deck with Pika. You can Topaz Bolt every turn with this setup. I think the deck is really cool. Let me know what you guys think of it in the comments below. Like, comment, subscribe for more videos, and we'll catch you in the next one. See ya.